In this tutorial we need to work in multiples of 3 plus 2. So for this tutorial I have chained to 26, which is 24 plus 2. So for the first row we are going to start in the third chain from the hook, so not counting the chain on our hook, 1, 2 and 3, and we are going to make a single crochet in there. I am using US terms. In UK this is a double crochet, but for this tutorial I will be using US terms. So straight into that next stitch with a single crochet, and into the next one and the next one and the next one, all the way to the end. So once you have created your row of single crochets, I will meet you back and we'll move on to the next row together. So I've created my row of single crochet. It's a bit curly, so I'm just going to hold it. To move on to the next row we need to chain 3, 2 and 3, and then just turn our work over. So for this the first part of this row we are going to be working into this stitch here. So this chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, and we need another one to make this cluster. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to insert right into the bottom of this chain 3, so this stitch here, very first stitch of the row, for 2 double crochet. Then we're going to skip 2, so we're skipping the next 2 stitches and working into that third here with a 3 double crochet cluster. So if you've made a granny square, this is a cluster that's worked in the exact same way. So 3 double crochets into that space. Then again we are going to skip 2 and work into the third with another cluster, and that is your repeat until you get to the end of the row. So when you have 3 chains left, meet me back and we will look at how to finish the row and how to move on to our next row. But in this row all we're doing is skipping 2, and in that third chain working a cluster of 3 double crochets. Now double crochet is a US term again. If you're working in UK terms, this is a treble crochet. I'll meet you at the end of the row. So we have reached near the end of our first row. We have 3 stitches left. This one at the end does count as a stitch, and we're going to work straight into the top of it. We're going to mimic what we did on this end. Our chain 3 counted as 1 double crochet, and we're going to create another, so we're going to make 2 double crochets into this last stitch here. 1 and 2. We are going to chain 3 and turn your work. Now if you wanted to change colour at the end of this row, you chain 3 in your new colour. I'll be changing colours at the end of my next row, so if you're a little unsure on how to change colour, then wait for that and I will show you there. In this row we are going to be working directly into these spaces that we made in between our clusters of 3. So just like a granny square, we're going to work in a similar way straight into those spaces. So 3 double crochet clusters into those spaces, yarn over and insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again, and one more, and we're going to repeat that in our spaces all the way to the end. Once you make your 3 double crochets in your last space, I will meet you back and show you how to end the row, change colour and move on to the next row. Once we've created our last cluster of 3 in our last chain space, we're actually going to work 1 more double crochet on this row, and that's going to be into the top of our chain 3 from the previous row. So you can see your chain 3, and if you yarn over and insert your hook into the top of it, that top chain, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle to get your hook under both loops. There you go. I'm going to be changing colour, so I'm going to start my double crochet, but I'm not going to finish it. Once I've got 2 loops left on my hook, I'm going to yarn over with my new colour, Then I am going to chain 3, 2, 3 and turn my work. Now I want to mimic row 2, so this is a 2-row repeat. So we've worked our first row here where we did 2 double crochet and then clusters, and then this one where we did 1 double crochet and clusters. I'm just going to snip off my blue yarn so it doesn't get in the way. So we want to work, our chain 3 still counts as our first double crochet, and we want to work 1 more double crochet into this row to get it started. We're going to be working into the gaps from now on. We're not going to work into any stitches unless we're working into the top of that chain 3 for our single double crochet rows. So into that space there with another double crochet, and that's 2 to get this row started. Then we're going to jump straight over into our next space and do a cluster of 3. And we're going to do that all the way along, working into those cluster spaces with a cluster of 3 to build the project. So I'm going to meet you at the end again when we're nearing our last spaces to show you how to finish this row and move on to the next, and then I'll leave you to create your projects. To finish this row, we are going to work in the space between our cluster from the previous row and our chain 1 double crochet with 2 double crochet to mimic the start of the row. 1 and 2. And to start this row, we are going to chain 3 and turn. Then we're going to work straight into that first space with a cluster, 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 so on. And we are just repeating row 2 with our 1 double crochets at the end of each row. So if you want to rewind the video to complete this row, then do so. If you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment to let me know what you're creating out of this tutorial. And if you want to see more from my channel, then please hit that big red subscribe button and the notification bell below. Thanks again, catch you on the next one.